Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, stop what you are doing. I just had some Chick-fil-A, stop eating. Just got done with practice, stop. No sports other than hoops. You could watch the All-Star celebrity games. I got it on right now. Any other All-Star festivities you want to watch, you can have that on. Because over here, it's just hoops. I'm Amari. This is Darion. Let's get straight into it, my brother.
Get into it.
How you feeling, bro?
I'm feeling good. All-Star weekend, good break in the league. College ball. Hoosiers got a big win versus Michigan State, playing UCLA now. Trying to make that push for the tournament. So
Right.
just watching, seeing how that's gonna go.
Yeah, bro, it's always good. Like, even though All-Star Weekend hasn't been as good as like previous years, bro, it's always good to get this like break from the league, break from the seriousness. And All-Star Weekend always fun in some type of way,
Yeah,
even if it's not. I think it's expectations that ruin people's perception of what All-Star Weekend has become. You know what I mean?
yeah. Because I mean, even back in the day, they was playing like they played more than they play now, but they
Yeah.
was having fun as well. They was throwing elbow passes and a whole bunch of
Shaq at the free throw line, throw it off the backboard.
yeah. It's like they still had fun. But I think they just played a little bit more defense, and that gave
Yeah.
people want to see more of that in All-Star game. But I think they should take this time as a break for their bodies and just have fun.
Right. Right. So before the break, we got a couple of debuts, previously traded players. We finally got to see Luka Doncic in a Lakers jersey. Must see TV, my opinion. How you feel about that debut?
And it was what I expected. Luka did, even on limited minutes, still have 14, and he looked comfortable. He looked like he was happy to be there. I know you saw the post of Bron leaking out and Luka smiling, knowing that he had somebody to throw the ball down court to.
Right.
I think that I think that like all the time he was off the court and the players building that chemistry with him, I think that showed once he was able to get onto the court. And I think it transferred well with a 30-point win almost.
Yeah, bro. I mean, they played back-to-back games against the Jazz. The second one was way different than the first one, but
It
I
was.
mean, in that first one, that team looked really good. On the defensive side of the ball, everybody was bought in. LeBron was out there playing defense, and then on the offensive side, which is what I my biggest takeaway from watching them so far is the amount of open looks that everyone else is getting already playing with LeBron, and now you add Luka as a secondary star instead of AD. You have two guys that can make any pass on the court, and man, Rui was feasting.
Yeah, he
And then
was.
to round out their big three, Austin Reeves, that boy can hoop,
Yeah. The more accessories he get, the better he get. He just
man.
he just continues to get better and better. And he's showing like, hey, I know we got Luka and all, but let's not forget who was doing this first. But
Right.
I think that's good to have that number three option who could be a number one anywhere else, really.
Yeah. Yeah.
But a number three that you know will be consistent just in case one and two aren't being there for you that night.
Right. And also Jackson Hayes, even though the Mark Williams trade got rescinded, the Lakers picked up Alex Lynn in the buyout market. He was supposed to join Indy. Then heard the Mark Williams stuff and decided to come with the Lakers. But Jackson Hayes being a starting center, it opens up a lot for him on the offensive side of the ball. And I think Jackson Hayes is the perfect center on the offensive side of the ball for Luka Doncic. We saw how I don't know how many oops he had, how many dunks he had in that game, but the amount of times that he got easy dunks at the rim and his athleticism is on full display. And you saw what Luka did with Derek Lively. A big that could catch lobs at the rim is going to be phenomenal with Luka Doncic. So I think
Yeah.
that fit is great.
Yeah, no, the first 4 points of Luca's debut game were lobs, one from Brown, one from Luca to
Mhm.
Jackson Hayes. So yeah, it's gonna be great having a big that can move at the speed Hayes does. So like you said with Lively, it helps Luka run that pick and roll to perfection, knowing that he could stop and pop, throw the lob, or go to the basket.
Yeah.
About the Mark Williams trade, I got a question for you. If
Yep.
you're Dalton Knecht, how do you feel about playing again for the Lakers after they just tried to trade you?
I mean, I don't. It's gonna hurt. Like it's gonna feel weird coming back into that locker room, which he already said that it did feel like that. But at the end of the day, can you blame them?
Yeah,
They needed a five. Like I don't think you could really blame like he's a rookie. They're trying to go win a championship. Um, I don't know if you could really blame the Lakers if you're Dark Connect. I know you're gonna feel some type of way because they did trade you, and now you got to come back into that locker room. Probably, and he probably didn't have a lot of prior notice that he was getting traded.
yeah, no.
So coming back is definitely gonna be awkward and a weird vibe at first, but at the end of the day, you still playing for the same team that you were 2 weeks ago. You know, it's not like you got to rebuild chemistry with your teammates, like you would have had to do in Charlotte. So I mean, it's gonna be awkward at first, but I think he'll be all right.
Do you get upset that they give up you over the third round pick because of his last name?
Well, I mean, that first of all, second round pick, third
Second,
round pick is crazy.
third round is
Uh,
maybe do three.
no, it's just two. Um, but I don't think Bronny holds a lot of value right now. So the only valuable pieces that they really had were that pick, the 2030 pick, I believe, and Dalton Connect. Gabe Vincent doesn't really hold a lot of value. Cam Reddish was probably just a throw in to that deal. Doesn't really hold a lot of value. They don't have a lot of valuable pieces, and I don't think Bronny would have even been on the table for a Mark Williams caliber of player.
I only asked that because I seen the Mavs had and some other teams tried to throw a couple offers for Bronny, but the Lakers shut it down. So I didn't know if you think Dalton would feel a way about that or
Right? You think so?
I don't. I mean, I wouldn't, but I kind of would. I would feel a way as in I would feel as if he's just protected because his father's here. But then I feel like you said, being traded, you have value. So if you're able to, if the team wants to give you up, it could be for the better or worse. And
Mhm.
being in Charlotte, he would have had green light. So I mean, it could go either way. But I think ultimately, probably not.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of all depends on in Dawn Connect's mind, what does he care about? I don't know what Dawn Connect cares about right
Yeah,
now. Does he care about, you know, scoring a lot of points, getting his averages up, being rookie of the year? Because I don't know if that's going to happen on the Lakers, but he has an opportunity to compete for a championship as a rookie, which
yeah.
not a lot of guys have the ability to say that. So I mean, it depends on what Dawn Connect has going on in his mind.
Well, on the other end of this trade, let's talk about the Mavs and AD. How you feel about his debut?
It was great, bro. It was great, and it's sad to see that the injury happened. And man, this I know Nico Harrison is he feeling the pressure more than ever right now.
Yeah.
Definitely, I mean, already with trading Luka Doncic, the backlash that has come with that. But now AD's gotten hurt. Derek Lively's going to be out for a while, and Daniel Gafford's going to be out for all three of them out for long stretches of time. Kyrie's been in and out of the lineup this season, so it just makes that trade look so much worse and really disregards the fact that Anthony Davis had such a great debut.
No, yeah, his debut was great. He was looking amazing, and he fits that team well. And I think that shocked a lot of. I think that gave people more shock than they thought.
Yeah,
I think that the Mavs have they have a good balance of players, and they'll have such a great rotation that he'll be able to be off the court, get rested, and they have four players that they could put at the 4 and 5. So I think that they'll be able to mix it up and then just give different opportunities to Kyrie, who is one of the greatest point guards of all time, and giving him a big like AD, that's nothing but greatness for them. So once he returns, I think they'll be good. and I think they'll shock more people than
I don't think they have the time though. Though with the way the West is, I don't know if they'll stay
yeah,
afloat.
yeah.
The Warriors, I mean, Jimmy Butler, the Warriors are 3-1 since getting Jimmy Butler. They're climbing up the ladder. The Spurs got De'Aaron Fox. Almost every team has made improvements to their roster, and the Mavs made a change to the roster. You could see it as an improvement, either way. But now that it's an injury, it just disregards all of that and just sets them back. So I don't know if the Mavs stay afloat. They're right now sitting at the 6th or 7th seed, I think. I think they're right above a play-in spot right now. But with how close the standings is, that can all change within 2 games. And if we're talking about all three of those guys out for a long stretch of time, I don't know if they stay afloat.
Hold on. Well, yeah, the Mavs as a whole, it's going to be hard for them to stay afloat, like you said. Losing
Mhm.
three of your four big men, that changes everything. And like you said with Kyrie, your point guard being in and out of a roster, that's not good when you're fighting for a spot in the West. Um, but another player in that trade that has been standing out to me and showing a lot of character development is Max Christie. I think he's looking great for the Mavs. He's been improving, shooting the ball well, playing great defense. And I think he gave them a defensive edge that they didn't have before. So I think, like you said, probably not this season, but next season, I think he will help being at that two spot, being able to pick up the best defender, and then having such a great inside defense, they'll be able to compete and they'll be good in the West, I believe.
You believe this season they'll be good in the West?
No, next season.
Okay.
This season,
Yeah.
I think it's over.
Yeah, depending on, I mean, Anthony Davis is 31, I believe.
Yep.
Depending on how AD ages, it all could. I mean, I just feel like that trade is so risky for that, and it just looks so much worse now that he has another injury, one that is gonna set him out for a longer period of time than he has all season. Um, I mean, previously in the season, he's been looking healthy as he's ever been.
Yeah.
And man, this trade just, I mean, that injury just,
Past two seasons.
right, right.
And
Yeah,
yeah,
man.
you get injured first game with the new team. Yeah, that's rough. And it does nothing but look bad, especially when Luka is able to play even on minute restriction. So
Yeah,
he gave up our franchise for a player who gets hurt in 3 quarters with us.
right, right. We talked about the Warriors a little bit, but kind of want to dive into Jimmy Butler the third. Out here hooping with the Warriors, 3-1 since he's joined. Have you been catching any of the games?
I caught I caught the game they lost the other day, and then I see some highlights of his first game. The first game I noticed that he was playing very physical and inside. He didn't shoot. I don't think he shot a three. If he did, he didn't. I don't think he made it, but he was getting to the basket, getting to the free throw line. So having a player like Jimmy that ultimately can play in that Draymond role, being aggressive, being an inside presence and spacing the floor for Curry and Buddy, I think that can help space out the court for the Warriors and get some attention off of Steph because Steph gets guarded heavily.
Yeah, man. I feel like every time the Warriors have won a championship, they've had this kind of recipe. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Um, you know, Buddy Hield is definitely no Klay Thompson, by
No,
no means necessary. But you got Steph with another shooter. Then you have a wing that I don't think they've never had a wing other than Durant. You had your Iguodala before, Wiggins before, and Jimmy Butler just does. I feel like whatever is needed on a night. Some night, like the first night, he had 25, didn't have a lot of rebounds, didn't have a lot of assists. The next night, he had 20 something like that, 9 rebounds, 6 assists. He's gonna get to the free throw line, and he plays defense. Obviously, he had I think one steal the first game, 4 steals the next game. So I mean, Jimmy Butler is just gonna do whatever is needed on a night to night basis for the Warriors, and I think that's a Wiggins role elevated.
yeah, no, that's a great way to put it. The Wiggins are elevated, and you still got JK off the bench.
Mhm.
So that's two wings who could play defense and space the floor out well. Um, And that's a recipe to success. And like we seen it with KD when KD was able to take the attention off of Steph, even with KD being one of the greatest scorers ever and being able to be ball dominant, even with all the attention he draws. It
Mhm.
still allows Steph to get warm. Steph have big games and no Klay Thompson, but Buddy Hield, you got to respect his jumper. You can't leave him.
Right.
It's hard to defend three players who are able to score the ball proficiently, and
Mhm.
I think it'll impact their game in a good way.
Yeah, whenever Kuminga comes back, I hope he gets back in a reasonable amount of time so they have time before the playoffs to really get in a rhythm together. Because Kuminga's obviously a big piece of that team,
Yeah,
and I hope he comes back in a reasonable amount of time so we can so I can see how they fit, we as fans, and so they can get a grasp as a team, before playoff time comes around.
yeah, I agree. Especially in this West, I want every team to be healthy in the West because I want to see a real dogfight for the playoff
Right,
spots.
right. This is cinema.
Yeah, it is, especially the play-in games. I can't wait for those.
Right. Jumping ship to the east, D Hunter with the Cavs. Um, First game was not promising. He had 20, I think he had 12 points, something like that. 12 points in 23 minutes. Five fouls. They won. It was a 10-point game against the Wizards. So I mean that tells you something right there. Gave up 125 points to the Wizards. Wasn't a promising debut. Second game, they bring him off the bench. Like we had said, we hoped that he was starting, but second game they brought him off the bench and he played better, honestly. So maybe we were wrong about that. What you think about the debut?
I think, well, one, getting adapted to a team is hard. Um, Five fouls for a key defensive player as a coach, you don't want that, obviously. That's not good. But I
Yeah.
also feel some players just they play better off the bench, and that's just you got to accept it. That's just what it is. Uh,
Hmm.
I believe he could be one of those players, or if not, he's just still trying to change and get adapted to that team, and it might
Yeah.
take a little bit because you're playing with Mitchell and Garland and Mobley. They got a nice four right there, so it's hard to jump in
Yeah.
to and try to fit in with that squad that's been together and is a solid squad together.
Bro, my fault. Kai just got a layup and just went crazy.
Shout out Kai, they probably played them.
But yeah, man, I hope that the DeAndre Hunter works out for the Cavs, especially because of how good he was playing in Atlanta. I think it was a good trade on paper, and I just hope that he still plays to that caliber and maybe come off the bench is what he needs to do that, since that's what happened in Atlanta for him to perform how he was.
Yeah, I mean, I don't doubt the Cavs will figure it out. Saw how they started the season. Um, and they have a nice front office. They know how to develop and build players. So I'm sure they'll figure out some type of rotation to get him right and get him into the groove that they want him to be in.
Yeah, yeah. You got any other ones you want to hit?
Um, no, no, I'm good. Fox played great. He fits that team well. See how Castle will adjust with that. His minutes are going to go down with Fox coming in,
Right.
but I think he's such an impactful player no matter where he plays. So I think they'll be all right either way. But no,
Mhm.
I like that Fox move. That was a good move. Especially with CP getting older, go ahead and get that next point guard coming in for Wemby and let him get
Yeah,
used to playing with Wemby.
yeah,
So I think that was a good move.
yeah. Um, Jumping ships again to college basketball. Big game this weekend. Number one versus number two. The Alabama Crimson Tide coming for that number one spot in college basketball versus Auburn Tigers. What a game we got on our hands. What's your thoughts on this?
Well, this is the first ever SEC one versus two, and
Right.
it's the first one versus two since 2021.
Mhm.
Um, it's gonna be cinema. But that's all it is. It's gonna be cinema.
We
Both
couldn't ask for we couldn't ask for a better game.
no, you can't.
Perfect rivalry. SEC ball, SEC is tight as ever. One versus two in the national rankings, one versus two in the SEC rankings. This game means a lot, man.
Yeah, this is not a difference maker game, but it's a pride game. You win, you kept your spot at one. You knocked off the second best team in the nation. It's like,
Yep.
yeah, we're number one for a reason. But
Mhm.
coming number two team, you coming in, yeah, we could beat number one. We deserve that spot.
Right.
So it's a pride game and being, crosstown rivals, that add a little bit more to it.
Yeah. Hey, we don't get these games in the NBA in the regular season. This is a regular season game. We don't get these games in the regular
We
season for the
never
NBA,
see
man.
this in the NBA.
That crowd finna be rocking. Alabama's at home with it. So what we decided to do was we wanted to kind of break down a little bit keys for both teams to win the game. DY got Auburn. I got the Crimson Tide, of course. So talk to me about them Tigers.
The Tigers, 10-1 conference play.
Right,
First conference loss was to Florida,
right,
which, as I mentioned in previous spots, Florida knocked off Tennessee and when they were number one. So
right.
Florida likes going against that number one team.
Hmm.
Um, and in that Florida game, they didn't get outplayed. They just Florida hit more shots and Florida wanted it more. That
Right.
but their second loss, which came earlier in the season to Duke, they did get outplayed.
Hmm.
Um, Duke being one of the best teams in the country, we've all seen them play. Uh, you allow Cooper Flag to go for 22 and 11. That's a recipe for success for that team to start there. You can't allow
Right.
their best player to have a double double efficiently. And
Hmm.
then off the bench, Isaiah Evans had 18.
Right.
A bench player coming off who he goes in the game and shoots threes. He's getting his 3-pointers up. So
Hmm.
you're allowing him to get open looks continuously and just knowing he's going to make them or he's going to take them regardless.
Right.
You got to be able to scout, know your personnel, and know what they're doing. So one of my key points for the win is they got to stop the outside game with Mark Sears, Aiden Holloway. That's a nice duo. That's a nice 1-2 at the guard positions. And Mark, you put me on Mark. I like watching Mark's game. He reminds
Come
me of
on now.
and he gonna get his buckets. So I think they have to limit that. Another thing I said is limit the transition baskets. Alabama plays very fast. They play off the rebounds and they push.
Hmm.
So they have to be able to rebound well on the offensive and defensive side. Alabama also gets a lot of second chance points. But especially on the defensive side or on the offensive side to go be able to slow down Alabama, not allow those transition points, and maybe not crash as many, allow people to get back because of the speed Alabama plays at.
Yeah, man. For me, it's kind of the opposite of the points that you were making. You know, I took a look at every one of Alabama's losses, right? Versus Ole Miss, they turned the ball over 21 times to Ole Miss 7 times, right? Alabama shot 25% from three that game. Against Oregon, 15 turnovers, 31% from three. Mark Sears also went one for 11 for three, 3 for 14, right? Purdue, they lost the turnover battle again. It was closer, but they lost turnover battle. 30% from three as a team. Mark Sears was 1 for 6. So for me, and even the win against Arkansas, they shot 26% from three and lost the turnover battle, which is why it was such a close game that when it shouldn't have been, right? So I feel like the keys for Bama win the turnover battle because, as you said, part of Alabama's offense is pushing in fast break, playing fast, getting buckets in transition, and turnovers help that case. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Alabama also number two in the nation in rebounds by like point 0.5, something like that, something crazy. Win the rebound battle, win the trenches battle is what I'm gonna say. That's the key for Bama. Win the trenches battle, win the turnover battle, win the rebound battle, get to the free throw line. They do that, I think it's gonna be hard for them to lose, especially at home. They do
Yeah.
that. Come on now.
Yeah. And that goes to my next point, siding for Auburn. Be
Mhm.
disruptive. This Alabama team, if they're not shooting well, you can limit Mark and they turn the ball over. So if you could play aggressive, you already know it's a mental game. You
Right.
It's already loud. You want all this momentum. So be
Mhm.
aggressive without fouling and get in their heads, force these turnovers. I think they win the game. And they also need to hit their free throws. They struggle from the free throw line. They've struggled from the free throw line all season.
Mhm.
And I, being a number one team, playing a game like this, every free throw matters, and you got to knock down the free ones.
Yeah. I think I also had, keys to a win. I said things more that they, got to avoid turnovers, not getting rebounds, stuff like that. I think if they score over 85 points, they win the game. Alabama, best offensive team in the nation, according to points per game. You put up numbers, it's hard to lose. I think if it's a shootout, Alabama comes out on top. Shootout favors Alabama. And that could come from a Mark Sears big game, but also if Mark Sears is not having a big game, it just takes everybody. Alabama's a team that has won a lot of games by committee, having 8 guys in double digits scoring. So I mean, it got to be one of the two. If it's both, I think you definitely win. But they both can't drop. You know what I mean?
No, yeah. And on the opposite of that, if it's a close game, I think Auburn pulls away. And their 10 ranked games this matches, they're 8-2. And only two of those games have been a closely contested win, and that was Tennessee and Iowa State. Iowa
Mhm.
State was third game of the season.
Right.
Um, with Tennessee, they with both of these games, they proved that they can close out a game and they can close out a game on runs and force teams to make mistakes trying to get back into it. So I
Yeah.
think for Auburn, if you don't want it to get close, but if you do, if it does get close, go back to what you know, go back to closing out those games and coming home with the victory.
I think that kind of changes though on the road, honestly.
Yeah, it does. It
You're
does.
playing at Alabama. That Coliseum finna be rocking.
Yeah,
And
especially in an environment like this, it definitely
right,
changes.
and it's such a rivalry game that it's definitely gonna be sold out. Them diehard fans gonna be there chirping the whole time.
Yeah.
In a close game in the fourth quarter, it's gonna be tough to execute, I feel like.
No, I agree. It'll definitely be a challenge. It's just I think being 1-2, I think that they are able to I'm not gonna say withstand the noise in the crowd because obviously a game like that you can't block all that out regardless.
Right, right.
But I think that you've been trialed and tested enough to know how to battle with that and block it out to the extent of being able to finish the game the way you want it to.
Right. Yeah, man, we'll see. Tomorrow, going into All-Star night, got a big game throughout the day. Big basketball day tomorrow, man.
Yeah, it is.
And we back. Shout out King of the fourth quarter, man. Um, hey, sorry for the pause, y'all. Your boy Darion, got a dog now, dog dad and stuff.
Yeah,
Responsibilities to take care of.
yeah,
But we was just about to transition into All-Star weekend, make some predictions, build out a dream dunk contest, dream 3-point contest, skills winners. We got a lot to cover for this weekend.
we do. Where you want to start at? I'm ready.
Let's go in order. Skills comp first. Who you got winning the skills comp?
Skills competition. I got the Cleveland boys, D Mitch and Evan Mobley. I just think the only other team I think that gives them comp is Wemby and CP, but I think that they've played together. You've seen them play together. I think that they will just overpower the other teams that they compete against.
Yeah, I got Wemby and CP. I mean, it's really hard to like really, really pick who gonna win
Yeah,
because you don't know who's gonna try and who's not. Some of them boys be jogging down the court, dribbling through the cones. We saw, so I forget who it was, dribbled off his foot one year. So like it's really hard to gauge. But I feel like CP ain't gonna miss that pass for sure.
I not.
And Wet Bananas get down the court in 3 strides. So got
Yeah,
my pick there.
I think it'll be between them two for sure.
Yeah, that's probably the least exciting of the festivities of the night. Next,
Definitely.
we got the 3-point contest.
I got I got Norman Powell coming
I
out.
got Norman Powell. Hey, Hey, I got Norman Powell,
I
bro.
got nowhere.
I don't know why, but
I
I
just
have a
got that
strong
feeling.
feeling, bro. I got a strong. Hey, if y'all watching, if y'all sports betters, put y'all bread on Norman Powell.
Hey, if two people just said Norman
Come on now, put
without
y'all bread
speaking
on
on it,
Norman.
we
If
try to
if
hook 'em
if
up.
if y'all lose y'all bread though, it ain't on us.
It ain't on us. So we didn't tell you to listen.
Facts.
But if you listen, go ahead,
Go
mess with
ahead, put it on
it.
Norm, bro.
But yeah, I like his odds. I don't know why. I like his odds in this 3-point contest.
Yeah, man. I was looking at the lineup, looking at each guy carefully, and when I saw Norman Powell, I just that's my winner, bro.
Yeah, nah, I ain't gonna lie. As soon as I seen him, I was like, yeah,
It's gonna be Norm.
it's gonna be Norv.
And we built our dream 3-point contest, so we might as well go ahead and unveil that while we're here. We gonna go one person at a time.
Well, you obviously know who first. Steph Chef.
Steph Chef, look at Curry. Me too. Yep.
Then I got Jay Hard.
I do have Harden in there. That was my last pick.
I didn't go like picks. I just put it in. Then I got JJ Redick.
See, I thought about it. I kind of went in a different direction. I want to know if you got this guy that I'm thinking. So go ahead, keep going.
Then I got Peja Stojakovic.
Okay, I don't got Paige. That's a good. That's a.
Then I got Kyle Korver.
I got. That's who I was talking about. I got Corb.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, I got Uncle Ray Ray,
Yep. Yep.
Reggie Miller,
Yep.
and lastly I got Mike Miller.
No Clay.
I I I didn't want to see Clay, I'm not gonna lie. Clay was in there at first, but then I was like, it's a lot of OGs who had burners that I want over Clay just for the
That's
excitement.
that's a crazy statement. First of all,
For the
um,
excitement.
I feel like I feel like you really just disrespected Klay Thompson. Um, the only guy that gave Steph a real run for his money in these 3-point contests is Klay Thompson.
Yeah, but
If there's no Steph Curry, Klay might be the greatest shooter ever.
well, I think that would be Harden since he's second on the 3-point all-time list.
I can't. I don't know, bro. I don't know. Klay, I think, is the greatest pure shooter other than Steph Curry.
I think Peja, Uncle Ray Ray, Reggie give Steph a run.
You you got all of them over Klay.
In a 3-point contest? If
Just no, I'm just talking about in
and
general
in
as a
hoops?
shooter.
No, 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 no. But I'm doing it for entertainment purposes. I'm watching. I want to see. This is the list I want to see. I want to see some of the older guys that I was growing up with. Paige, I didn't get to watch, but you
Hey,
see
I got
highlights.
a guy. I got
Talk.
a guy. I got Curry, Ray Allen, Reggie Miller, Corver, Harden. Those were our in common. Clay, as you know, Dame,
I had Dame at first, but I wanted some older guys.
Larry Legend,
I thought about throwing Larry on there.
Larry Legend.
I thought about throwing Larry on there.
Hey, I want to see Larry in that joint, bro.
Nah, I if somebody get injured or something, Larry's my reserve for sure.
Yeah, bro. I just want to. I don't even know what to expect putting him in there. Honestly, I just want to see it happen.
Yeah, he had a murder.
I'm pretty
Or
sure he won. He
he
won a
did.
few in his
Hmm.
time.
Yeah, with his little awkward jumper, but he would have been on the
His jumper look exactly how he look as a person.
yeah, his jumper fits him.
I don't know how that works, but his jumper looks exactly like him.
Like if I'd never seen him and heard the name Larry Bird, that's how I would envision his
Yep.
jumper
Hmm.
for sure.
Yeah, man. Um, moving on. Dunk contest. Supposed to be the highlight of the night. Hasn't been in a couple years. First, let's talk about the actual one. Who you got winning?
I've shouted out this guy a couple times on the pod.
I already knew who you was gonna say.
Stephon Castle.
Yeah,
Is explosive. He go pull out some tricks.
yeah, man. I see the bounce. For sure. I don't know. I don't know if Stephon. I feel like he'll be a bouncy guy that doesn't have a crazy dunking bag.
I think his in-game bag is just so nice. You don't even have to, he doesn't have to show off his extra shit, and he
Right,
has time to
right.
work on it. And he's so bouncy, I'm sure he gonna pull out some shit. I expect it.
I got he'll be a three-time in a row winner. I got Mac McClung.
I think you're
Um,
gonna say Mac.
I mean it's kind of a boring pick, but like I really don't see any comp really for him. I feel like he got new dunks for day. I feel like he spends all year preparing for the dunk contest.
Yeah, because I mean the NBA only rock with him when it's dunk contest time. So
True, true. Hey, I'll be doing the same thing.
it's messed up, bro. He can hoop and give him a chance.
He can, bro. He can. We've been seeing it since high. It's sad, bro. It's sad to see some of the high school players that we grew up watching on Ball is Life, and you know what I mean, in the gym.
You know who
It's
I just knew, you know who I knew was just gonna make it?
oh
Sharif Cooper. I
yeah,
just
bro.
knew he was gonna be one of the point guards.
Yeah.
Ash Cash.
What did you say?
I said Ash Cash,
Um, it's a cold world.
Cold World.
Um, just took me off my whole train of thought. My niece called me. Uh, but all time, your all time lineup for the dunk contest. What you looking at?
So I have some bias in here. Um, my first spot got John Morant, Mr. Explosive.
I got Ja.
I just want to see him in a dunk contest participate. Then I got Michael Jeffrey Jordan.
I left Jordan out actually.
Then I got Vince. Gotta see Vince in a dunk contest.
Hmm.
And my last is the poster child, Anthony Edwards.
Okay.
I want to see if he has a dunking bag besides just bodying people.
I honestly didn't even think about Ant, which is crazy. But as far as Vince, so at first when I made this list, I did of all guys that had actually participated in a dunk contest, just like my all time of those guys.
Mhm.
Then I erased everybody and was like, hold on, let me just put people that I wish tried for the dunk contest. So, and I got some specifics in here, like young LeBron,
Oh yeah. Oh, that's a great yeah.
young LeBron, Ja, just Ja right now, Ja.
Ja.
Um, D MVP D Rose, and coming out of high school Zion.
You can even put yeah, but you can put Duke Zion in that too.
True, true. I thought about it, but I just them mixtapes was crazy.
And the mixtapes was. So if that happened, who do you think is winning that?
Man,
That's a tough, that's a tough
man.
lineup.
D Rose, LeBron, Ja,
Young Braun was way too explosive.
bro, head way over the rim.
And then we all know D Rose.
We got back
All
scratch
two
D
back
Rose. Come
scratcher.
on, man.
We all seen Ja.
Throw over. He
And then everybody saw Zion.
I think Zion's my winner. Not gonna lie.
Especially, yeah, coming out of high school, Zion, he was just different.
And the ferocity in which he dunked the ball, bro.
Yeah.
He's
Like
punching it. Like,
he's not just doing a 360 windmill, he's doing a 360 windmill damn near pulling the court
yes,
with him. Like,
yes. He
yeah,
dunks as strong as he is. He dunks that strong,
yeah.
bro.
Nah, I could definitely see Zion. Or it'd be Zion and Young Braun in the finals. I ain't gonna lie. Young
Yeah, that
Braun.
would be crazy, bro.
Young Braun has so much bounce.
Yeah, this dunk contest might be longer than that Zach LaVine, Aaron Gordon.
They gonna let everybody just continue. Ain't nobody coming.
Facts. Ain't no
Everybody,
final round.
everybody getting 50s.
That
Nah, that would be very fun.
would, bro. Back to reality though. All-Star game Sunday. We got a new format. We got four teams, like kind of a tournament style. I forget exactly which teams playing who. I think it's Team Shaq versus Candace, Kenny versus Chuck. Kenny versus Chuck the first game, Shaq versus Candace the second game, and then the last game is at like 9 or something like that. Um, but who's first of all, who's All-Star MVP?
I have Wet Bananas as All-Star
Really?
MVP.
Mm.
I just think he's gonna. I mean, I don't think none of them are gonna try, but I think he going all 3-pointers he shooting in the regular season. I think they're all gonna fall at the All-Star game, and he's gonna hit
Yeah,
like 12 threes, and
yeah.
he's gonna win it.
I got Anthony Edwards. I
I
feel like
it was my second pick. I was debating.
Ant would come in here in a this tournament style and want to win so bad and want to like really show out on Bron and KD and them. I
Especially,
feel like Ant finna come crazy.
yeah, no, I was debating between them two because I know how it get, and especially the new format. Hopefully, it's a little more competitive.
I hope so, bro.
And then, yeah, playing that team against the older guys with Curry,
Hmm.
Rod, he definitely gonna try to prove himself. So I can see Ant winning it for sure.
I think the championship game will be competitive no matter what.
Yeah, I think it will
I
be.
feel like they've said it like I feel like that'll be competitive, man. And I'm kind of excited for this new format just to see, you know, what it holds.
At Shaq's team, that's the team with Braun in them, right?
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be Team Shaq versus Team Chuck in championship.
Okay.
That
See, if that happens, then my MVP's out of there. Because Ant's on Team Kenny. And I feel like you have to at least play in both of the games,
yeah,
probably to get MVP.
I just think that Team Kenny team is so. I just feel like it was just thrown together, and it was just like last options besides Ant, and
I
there was
feel like I feel like Kenny was trying really hard to get guys that he think would play hard.
yeah, and
And if he's right, it could work out very well. But
it
if
could,
he's wrong,
yeah, because they young, and if they don't try, they there for the experience.
right.
And Shaq went ahead and got the OGs.
Yep.
They on their way out, so they just here to have fun.
Then you got Chuck with Team International.
Yeah,
Hey,
no,
this should be pretty good, bro.
this should be good. I hope they lock in. I want to see the older team lock in.
Mhm.
I just want any chance we get to see Braun, Steph, and KD play together. I just want to take it all in and to the fullest. So I hope they try.
Yeah, I got them as my winners.
I had Team Chuck winning.
You got Team Chuck, the internationals.
I do got the internationals.
No
I
Giannis, Giannis replaced for Trey Young. You still got them?
still got them with Wemby and Shea and Segun. I think they'll be
And Jokic.
and Jokic. That's a
That's
squad.
a squad.
That's a squad.
That's a squad. Now we know Jokic ain't trying.
No, yeah.
But to be fair, I don't even think Jokic really has to try to
You
be
say
impactful.
Does Jokic try in the regular season? So
Right.
like it's just another game for him.
Hey, facts.
He just go grab boards, outlet. He probably not
Drop
go.
dimes.
Yeah,
He'll shoot a couple threes, I bet.
but he not gonna play no defense. He
Nah.
just gonna grab boards, outlet it, get to it. He probably gonna sit in the corner the whole time,
Bro,
realistically.
I hope we see some good one-on-one action between stars, especially in that championship game. I want somebody to have to sit in that chair, and I want somebody to have to go get a bucket for game, and I just want to see how it unfolds.
Who you want? If it's Team Shaq, Team Chuck, who you want that 1v1 for Gabe?
Well, hold on. First of all, before I say that, I'll put on here, you know, people always throw out how the NBA should have a one-on-one tournament. So if there was a one-on-one tournament in the NBA, who's coming out on top? Just between the All-Stars.
That's I don't. It could go a lot of ways. I'm gonna say I got two answers.
Okay.
I got an answer because it's just like who can stop them, and then my true answer of who I feel would win.
Wait, let me put some rules down first.
Yeah, I say
Rules
because
for the game.
Talk to me.
Ones and twos, 211, three dribbles.
Mm,
You can start at wing, um, top of the key, or wing.
okay.
No post start.
Okay. I got I still have two answers, but I feel like these are both realistic. But I either got KD or Kyrie.
hmm
I
I have, I have Kevin Durant. Yeah, I got KD, man.
the greatest pure scorer ever. He just going. It don't matter where he start. He just gonna hit you with a crossover, pull up over you. You can't stop him.
Yeah, I had KD or Shea.
Shea would be yeah. Shea would be good too.
hmm
He's a great ISO player and knows how to get to his spots.
He gonna get to that midi, and it's not gonna be a lot that you could do to stop it.
Yeah, you know what the fans gonna say. He can't win without a free throw line. Shea
hmm
can score without the free throw line. Let's stop
Hey,
playing.
let's stop it.
Let's stop that agenda. Shea could get a bucket.
Yeah, that was crazy. The Wolves fan chanting that the other day.
Like it's not he adapted to the game. He knows how to manipulate the game like the rest of the NBA players.
Yeah,
I don't see why it's such a problem that he uses it to his advantage.
there's a lot of players in the NBA that get a frequent whistle,
Yeah,
you know, and Shea's one of them for sure.
but I mean, he's had games. He's had a couple of his 50-point games. He only had like 4 or 5 free throws.
Yeah,
So
he can do it both ways though, which I think that's the beauty of Shea, beauty of
yeah,
watching Shea.
I agree.
Yeah, man, but a lot of basketball to watch this weekend. Alabama, y'all tune into the All-Star festivities. All-Star new format Sunday. Hopefully y'all tune in. Hopefully it draws a lot of eyes and brings the All-Star game back to where it was a couple years ago. Keep showing love, man. Subscribe, please subscribe. Just there's a little button in the bottom right corner of the video. If you click the screen and the pause button come up in the middle, you got your skip button right here, the other skip button right here. Bottom right corner, it's a little YouTube button. You click that button and the subscribe, it's all there for you. Please subscribe, like the video, comment, give us your thoughts on dunk contest, dream dunk contest, 3-point contest,
Anyways, in
interact.
simpler terms, after you watch the video, you could just like go to our account and press subscribe. You ain't gotta pause the video and do all that. But leave a subscribe, follow us on Instagram, TikTok. We're also on Spotify if you just want to listen. Just Hoops Podcast, same name. Episodes 2, 3, and this episode will be up, and the rest of the episodes will be up as well. Um, yeah, just keep engaging. Talk to us. We talk back. We want to talk hoops. Yeah,
Hey, Just Hoops Pod on all socials. Lock in with us, man. A lot of content, a lot of shorts, Instagram Reels, TikToks. We posting everywhere. Different types of content everywhere, man. Y'all lock in with us. Hey, appreciate y'all for watching though. Peace.